So it looks like the Tamika Scott is responding to her sister, Latasha Scott, about all the things that Latasha claimed about the group and why she's not on this mini tour that Xscape is doing. And she basically says that Latasha is lying. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So we've been talking about this Xscape drama since the 90s at this point. Well, now it's continuing because And I have to say, the ladies had to respond because Latasha basically said the group decided to go with this promoter that threatened her husband's life. Well, her sister, Tamika, is responding finally in an interview, a radio interview, and saying that that's not the situation. And remember when I did the report, I said, Latasha, something sounds like it's missing from this story. She then says, the reason I'm not doing the tour is because the promoter the girls are on tour with threatened my husband's life. Her husband is also her manager. The promoter was initially brought to the table by my husband for a few shows. 2 of the ladies had COVID on the show dates, so my sister and I performed alone in Atlanta, and the other show we had to pull out of. That's where the deal went left over a situation that could have been resolved. The promoter then referenced getting my husband's, quote, head touched and me being a widow. Would you have gone on tour with him? If that was any of their husbands, they definitely wouldn't have done the tour either, which I would have supported. Like I told them and management, I'm available for any dates that doesn't include that particular promoter. I choose family and loyalty over everything. But when my sister chose to disrespect our mother on a public platform, I literally couldn't stomach it, and we haven't spoken since. I am trusting that God will restore and bring my family back together. This just hurts. Look, this is her side of the story. I don't know what the other ladies have to say, but when you look at the numbers, when you see that both Tamika, Candy, and Tiny are all in agreement, it makes me just kind of look at Latasha. Are we sure here? It sounds like the issue with the tour is at the root, what we reported, an issue between her husband and this promoter. I feel as if my intuitive nature says there's more to that story. Should this promoter have said what he said to her husband? Probably not. Probably not. But what did your husband say and do? I'm just saying, look, this is her side, but I'm just like, part of me feels for him to come at the husband this way, I'm just like, well, there had to be something. What sparked this sort of confrontation with the two? Maybe nothing. You know, some people are just hotheads. And you know, sometimes promoters you're just like, you know, they can be a little sketch, some promoters. And Tamika says that. She says it was Latasha's husband who threatened the promoter first.
Is what fixable?
The situation.
I mean, I'm not mad at my sister. I love my sister, and I'm always here for her, just like the group. We're here for her. Yeah. It's not the personal problems that we're having as a family should have never been spoken on, but she decided to speak on it to clear her name, saying that because people were saying, well, your sister didn't tell you about this, your sister didn't tell you, and then she's like, well, I'm not talking to my sister because she disrespected my mama, which was a lie. And so that right there in itself, that hurts. You know what I mean? Like, this whole thing is just out of control. But the reality of it, my sister started working on her deal long before we started doing the shows. During the show, she has been alienating herself from us. Her manager's called Tiny and said she's booked. And when she's unbooked, they'll let us know.
Oh.
And as far as the rumor about the promoter threatening her husband, the truth of the matter is he threatened him first. And we have the emails.
You saying Rocky threatened the promoter
yes, first?
Gotcha.
So when I presented the girls' information or whatever, we called the promoter and he was like, you know, the reason why in other words, the reason why I didn't retaliate to that threat is because of y'all. So she took that as a threat, but he threatened the promoter first. And
got it.
right, well.
Life is
This is a
short,
lot.
ladies.
It's
Let me just say,
Missing
I
pieces
it
of
is
the story
crazy. It
being
is
told,
crazy.
Right.
and we haven't said our piece because at the end of the day, we love Tasha and we don't
Right.
want
We
to be
love
going
her.
back and forth on the internet trying to bash
Right,
each other
right.
like it's crazy.
Right.
So we just wait, and we're trying to wait. I'm telling you
Mm-hmm.
now. I mean, if it keeps going on, I don't know how much I can hold.
She also says that the whole claim that Latasha makes about Tamika disrespecting their mother is false, is a complete lie. And as I said to you before, Xscape is working on a reality show. Well, the reality show is already done. It was supposed to come out this month, but it's now slated for March. And as you know, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say every single time. First of all, did you guys see the Soul Train Awards? Okay, sidebar. Xscape were amazing. Amazing. And I stand by, yes, they all are fantastic singers, but you can't have this group without one of the voices. Yes, it can sound really good, but it's not the essence of Xscape, including Candy. Y'all saw that what went viral this past week with Candy's part hitting that high falsetto. We need that. But sidebar, Soul Train Awards, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. Did you guys see Shantae Moore perform? Shantae doesn't get enough flowers. I know people don't necessarily check for Shantae like that anymore, but that woman can sing her face off. And she proved it. First of all, she looks amazing. And newly married? Okay. Shantae's really got another man. I mean, come on. This is what, her second marriage, right? I don't remember. Anyway, Shantae killed it. Killed it. But back to Xscape. They also performed at the Soul Train Awards. And that's really what started all the recent drama, was because there was some sort of breakdown in communication about what they were going to wear on the red carpet. You all started jokes about Latasha and the Pips. And there was a little bit of a back and forth between the ladies on social media. Then we had that awkward moment when they were accepting the Lady of Soul Award. And Tiny basically says, "I love you girls." And she doesn't even look at Latasha. And when she does look at Latasha, she's sort of like, and look, you could say a lot of things about Tiny, but Tiny seems to be like the most even-tempered person in this group. And she usually looks like she gets along with everyone. But then, in one of the videos that I did, we did that whole throwback. I think it was Xscape's Unsung or whatever it may be. And they were talking about what broke up the group. And basically all of the ladies, well, not all the ladies, Tamika didn't say anything in this confessional, but Candy and Tiny were like, well, Latasha says, I'm going solo. Candy, you can continue with your modeling thing. Tamika and Tiny, you can continue having babies. So I kind of believe everything that the other three are saying right now. And Tamika has said, I've defended my sister right or wrong over the years. And basically she's like, I'm done. I'm done doing that. Latasha, who also is working on a gospel album, convenient timing of everything. No, Latasha's been trying to have a solo career since the 90s. And I think Latasha is an amazing singer. And I actually had her on my platform, Kempire Radio, years ago. And I loved her song, Bad Timing. Go Google Schmoogle it. Not my interview, the song. But for some reason, very much like SWV, when the lead singer or the most powerful singer or the favorite singer comes out with the solo album, for some reason it doesn't connect with the audience, because I'm like, why didn't Coco's album do, even though it was a really good album. Coco's album from SWV was really good. It's still one of my faves. Sunshine. All right, anyways. And sidebar. So I believe Tamika in this situation. And for Latasha to put out their family business like that, it kind of showed me another side of her. And the whole situation with her husband, all of you have been in the comments with all kinds of shocking allegations about Latasha Scott's husband. I don't know if they're true, but there's one consistent factor here. Latasha and her husband are separate from the group. And I honestly believe it's their situation. And sidebar, I did not report on the side baby mama situation. Well, she's since come out and said that she was hacked. Girl, hacked? Who's hacking you and releasing that type of information? Anyways, guys, I want to know your reaction to all the things, because I feel like there was a lot that I didn't get a chance to talk about. Let's talk about the Soul Train Awards, Xscape's performance, Shantae Moore's performance, the baby mama drama rumors with Latasha Scott and her husband, and what Tamika had to say in this interview. As always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.